Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving deep into a movie that, once again, proves Pixar's mastery of storytelling. It's been nearly a decade since Inside Out first took us on an emotional roller coaster, leaving many of us reflecting on our own inner battles. And now, Inside Out 2 is here, and let me tell you, it's everything we hoped for and more. When Inside Out was released in 2015, it wasn't just another animated film. It was a groundbreaking exploration of the human psyche, wrapped up in a vibrant, accessible package that resonated with both kids and adults. The story of 11-year-old Riley and her personified emotions, joy, sadness, anger, disgust, and fear, hit us all like a sucker punch. The depth of these characters and the raw, honest depiction of depression made it one of the most genuine animated films of its time. It's not often that a film, especially an animated one, so profoundly captures the complexity of growing up and the emotions that accompany it. Inside Out set a new standard, not just for Pixar, but for the entire animation industry. It changed the way we think about kids and movies. So when Pixar announced Inside Out 2, the excitement and the expectations were sky high. Could they really capture lightning in a bottle again? Could they explore new emotional territory without losing the magic that made the first film so special? This sequel, written by Meg LaFave, who penned the first film, along with David Hallstein, marks the directorial debut of Kelsey Mann, a longtime Pixar veteran. With such talent behind it, Inside Out 2 promised to be not just a follow-up, but an evolution of the story. And folks, it delivers. Today, we'll explore why this film might just be the best animated movie of the year, if not a contender for one of the best ever. Let's talk about the plot. Riley isn't a child anymore, she's a teenager. And as we all know, that comes with its own set of challenges: puberty, high school, and the terrifying world of new emotions. Since we last peeked into Riley's mind, it seems like life has been relatively smooth. Joy, sadness, anger, disgust, and fear have struck a balance, allowing Riley to experience and honor each of them. But, of course, this peace doesn't last. As Riley transitions from middle school to high school, puberty hits, bringing with it a flood of hormones and new emotions. The arrival of these new emotions, envy, ennui, embarrassment, and anxiety, signals a seismic shift in Riley's emotional landscape. Suddenly, the original Fab Five are no longer in control. They're pushed aside, deemed redundant and outdated by these new, more complex emotions. And just like that, the stability Riley's emotions had worked so hard to maintain is thrown into chaos. Let's talk about these new emotions, starting with anxiety, voiced by the incredible Paul Walter Hauser. Anxiety isn't just another emotion, it's the quasi-villain of the story, the one that drives much of the conflict. And for many adults watching, anxiety is an all-too-familiar companion.
I have to say, the portrayal of anxiety in this film is spot on. It's not just a feeling, it's a physical manifestation of every fear, every uncertainty, every moment of doubt. Watching anxiety push Joy and the others out of the control center and rip Riley's sense of self from its place. It's both terrifying and deeply relatable. One of the most powerful scenes in the film is when Riley experiences a panic attack. Anxiety is frozen in place, spinning around, unable to take control or offer comfort. It's such a visceral representation of what it feels like to be trapped in your own mind, to be overwhelmed by your thoughts and emotions. The central conflict of Inside Out 2 revolves around Riley's time at a hockey camp. With her best friends attending a different high school, Riley feels isolated once again. Anxiety seizes this opportunity, pushing the original emotions out and embarking on a mission to change Riley's core beliefs. The stakes are high. Can joy, anger, sadness, disgust, and fear find Riley's old sense of self before she's fundamentally changed forever? This race against time is where Inside Out 2 really shines. It's not just about the surface-level challenges of adolescence. It's about the deeper, existential questions we all face as we grow up. Who are we? What defines us? And how do we stay true to ourselves when everything around us is changing? This film doesn't shy away from these big questions. It embraces them, tackling them head-on in a way that's both poignant and accessible. And in true Pixar fashion, it does so with a perfect blend of humor, heart, and humanity. One of the things that made the original Inside Out so special was its ability to resonate with audiences of all ages. It was a film that kids could enjoy for its colorful characters and fun story, but it also spoke to adults on a much deeper level. Inside Out 2 continues this tradition, but with an even greater emphasis on the complexity of emotions as we grow older. The film's emotional climax is nothing short of breathtaking. As Riley's emotions work together to restore her sense of self, we're reminded of the importance of all our emotions, how they shape us, guide us, and ultimately help us navigate the ups and downs of life. It's a message that resonates not just with teenagers, but with anyone who's ever felt lost or overwhelmed by their emotions. For me, Inside Out 2 hit even harder than the first film. Maybe it's because I've lived with anxiety for so long, or maybe it's because the film's depiction of that struggle felt so real. Whatever the reason, this movie left me feeling seen, understood, and, most importantly, hopeful. Beyond its emotional depth, Inside Out 2 is a technical marvel. The animation is, as expected from Pixar, absolutely superb. The attention to detail, the fluidity of the character movements, and the vibrant color palette all contribute to a visually stunning experience. And let's not forget the vocal performances. Amy Poehler once again brings her A-game as Joy, while the new additions to the cast, like Ayo Edebiri as Envy and Adele Exarchopoulos as Ennui, fit seamlessly into the world of Riley's emotions. Even with the change in voice actors for disgust and fear, the transition is so smooth you hardly notice it. It's clear that the team behind this film put their heart and soul into making it the best it could be. From the writing to the animation to the voice acting, everything comes together to create a film that's not just a worthy sequel, but a standout on its own. So, where does Inside Out 2 stand in the pantheon of Pixar films? In my opinion, it's right up there with the best of the best. It's a film that takes the foundation laid by the original and builds on it in ways that are both surprising and deeply satisfying. If you loved the first film, you're going to love this one even more. It's not just a sequel, it's a continuation of a story that's as old as time. The story of growing up, of facing new challenges, and of finding your place in a world that's constantly changing. Inside Out 2 gets a well-deserved 9.5 out of 10 from me. It's an emotional journey that's absolutely worth taking. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into Inside Out 2. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more in-depth reviews of the films that move us, challenge us, and make us feel all the feels. And let's keep the conversation going. What emotion do you relate to the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, keep watching, keep feeling, and keep growing. And remember, it's okay to feel. It's what makes us human.